Hello, I'm John Van Driel, Program Director for the new Classical 96.3 and 103.1 FM. Well, music is making a buzz on the technology front these days with what many are calling a breakthrough with the deaf. Here's Zoomer news videographer Darren Maharaj with the details.
Well, with the constant advances in technology these days, just about anything is possible, and now researchers have found a new way for those hard of hearing and deaf to enjoy music. This is the emoti-chair. Kind of comfy.
I'm deaf on one side of my head, and I have about 2/3 of my hearing on the other side of my head. So for me, sitting in this chair, I mean, as you saw, it's quite the ride, eh?
Why is this a breakthrough?
Well, we're really taking it the next step in providing accessibility to music for deaf people. Traditional efforts have been centered around speaker listening, so deaf people would place their hands on a speaker, and that's a pretty good effort. But the problem is you only get rhythm and maybe a little bit of bass. What our system does is it spreads out the musical signal and the spectrum all across the body. So the top part of your body will get the higher pitches of the music, and the bottom part of your body will get the lower pitches.
This chair, every time the bass sound, the whole chair just jerks and moves, and it really redefines it really gives you a whole new meaning to the word rock and roll. It really does.
I'd say that the big chair incorporates all of the work that's going on in the subsequent chairs in one sort of giant interface. It's a wonderful collaborative effort, and none of us could have done any of the work that we did without the others. So, for example, we need the technicians to build the technology. We need the researchers to determine what has to go into the technology. And we need the psychologists to sort of inform us on what, the sort of more cognitive and physiological requirements are for designing an effective system.
The emoti-chair recently had its first true test at a Toronto charity concert. It was a chance to gain much-needed feedback from the deaf community that will hopefully help get a prototype out to the public in the soon future, at a cost that Dr. Karam, a member of the research team, says could be very reasonable.
It could go pretty low, depending on what quality of speakers you wanted, what quality of equipment you wanted to put in it. So, you could go pretty low, and honestly, I could probably make one up for, if you had your own computer, your own amplifier, and your audio box, probably for about $500.
For the latest info on the emoti-chair, you can check out the News and Events tab at ryerson.ca. In Toronto, I'm Darren Maharaj for Zoomer News.
Thanks, Darren. And don't forget that the new Classical 96.3 FM is your source for all the greatest classical music. I'm John Van Driel for this week's edition of the Classical Bulletin.